For the first time in soccer history, a German squad won the Europe Cup. The championship game saw the FC Liverpool team, this year's English champs, and the heavy favorites in this game, going against Borussia Dortmund in Scotland's harbour city of Glasgow. Dortmund draws first blood in the 63rd minute of play. But Liverpool ties it up shortly thereafter. The regulation period ends in a 1-1 tie. The Liverpool squad plays a better game, but just can't get lucky. Dortmund boots in the winning goal in the 9th minute of the 30-minute overtime period. The team gets a wild reception back in Dortmund, which is one of the Ruhr Valley's most enthusiastic soccer areas. Ambach, on Starnberger Lake, a few miles southwest of Munich, recently celebrated its 1200th birthday. This Bavarian village invited one and all to a great family gathering, and the festive occasion got underway with Mass out in the open fields. Ambach's history began when the surrounding area was given as a gift to the church. And Ambach's history is very European. Even this tiny nest saw its share of warriors, marauders of all sorts, Napoleon's troops, and even the Swedes at the end of the 30 Years' War, who reportedly drowned in the lake when the ice gave way. Dancing around the maypole was as much a part of the festivities as a 5-act play performed at a historically famous house in the village. The festivities continued for 7 days, after which Ambach and the Ambachers once again returned to their everyday Bavarian routine. A declaration of freedom by West Germany's labor unions was held on May 1st at Republic Square in Berlin. 250,000 people, including Federal President Heinrich Lübke and West Berlin Mayor Willy Brandt, gathered for the speeches. 2 issues were most prominent: reunification in peace and freedom, and a protest against the Eastern Zone's standing orders to shoot any refugees trying to cross over the wall. An informational booklet was issued listing political documents from 1955 up to the present day, which reveal the problems and the efforts of the federal government and its allies in seeking Germany's reunification. For 20 years, the book points out, the division of Germany has prevented 1/4 of the German people from freely deciding their own fate. Despite the dangerous, mine-filled no man's land, some people still try to escape to freedom, for which some of them have paid with their lives. In addition to the building of the wall, the governmental booklet recalls the workers' uprising in East Berlin and the Zone on the 17th of June, 1953. This date was officially named the Day of National Unity in memory of those who died during the unsuccessful uprising. Chancellor Erhard notes that those who risked their lives in that revolt are still remembered in free Germany.
Jener deutschen Menschen gedacht, die damals den offenen Widerstand gegen die unerträgliche Zwangsherrschaft wagten.
Russian tanks had to be called in 13 years ago to help the communist regime maintain control, and the uprising was finally quelled. But this protest did not fail to register with the peoples of the world. The Chancellor points out that the ties between Germans in the Federal Republic and the Soviet-occupied zone are eternal and indestructible. And he sees West Germany's goal in helping those in the East obtain freedom of choice.
Unablässig dafür einzutreten, dem Grundrecht aller Menschen und Bürger, dem heiligen Recht auf Selbstbestimmung zum Siege zu verhelfen.
But despite the wall and the East-West borderline, Germany politics has become active recently. One reason is the West German government's peace paper, which noted ways in which the reunification of Germany could lead to peace and freedom for all of Europe. The German-French border in the Tsar Valley, a centuries-long subject of debate, is today little more than a formality. A valid passport is all anyone needs to cross the border. Saarbrücken is the capital city of this state. The city's new expressway connects directly with the national Autobahn system. This border city suffered severe damage during the last war, but a new city grew up from the rubble, and Saarbrücken today numbers among the Federal Republic's 55 largest cities. Small boats and barges are a part of Saarbrücken's skyline, yet the city still needs a serviceable waterway which would join it to Europe's main navigational systems. Saarbrücken is also the economic center of the state. Mining and iron ore processing are the main industries here. The Burbacher foundry, with its 7,000 employees, produces close to 1.5 million tons of steel annually. But the area is also growing in importance by virtue of a tremendous increase in the lighter industries. Not far away from former battlefields, we find one of the spots most favored by residents of the Saar Valley, the beautiful garden at Deutschmühltal. Created by German and French gardeners and maintained by them, it is an outstanding example of modern horticultural architecture. The university here is one of the institutions built after 1945. Its students number about 6,000, including many Frenchmen. Atop Hall Mountain, on the outskirts of Saarbrücken, we find the federal radio station servicing the area, Saarländischer Rundfunk. One of its most popular programs is much like the music and hourly news format which we know so well.
Saarländischer Rundfunk, erstes Programm Europawelle Saar.
The nearby TV studios are lit for a beat program with some young European stars. The director is one of Germany's best, Truck Brands. Saarland's TV shows by Brands are usually unconventional, always interesting, and are numbered among the most popular in German television. The well-known German painter Georg Meistermann teaches and works in Karlsruhe. His comment about the creative process: "My painting is a direct conversion of the imagination into a picture. Its origin is indefinable."
Der Grund, der Anlass ist nicht zu definieren. Er ist das, was tief im Menschen verborgen ist und was zur Sichtbarkeit gebracht werden soll.
Professor Meistermann's special field is designing stained glass windows.
Zur Glasmalerei treibt mich die Neigung.
Glass painting permits one to add a poetical element to modern architecture, he says, whereby I treat each window as an architectural unit. The work on a new glass window begins with a detailed design on life-sized pieces of cardboard, such as this one for the has designed over 50 window compositions for sacred as well as secular buildings. He is considered Germany's leading representative of modern glass painting, both here and abroad.